Good day, Coach Jude, and also to the viewers. Welcome to our video presentation. Today, we are going to discuss about the Module 4, the Learner-Centered Pedagogy. But first, let me introduce our study hub. I am Yasmin Hera J. Flores, the little teacher of the study hub number 2. My topic is all about delivery modalities. Next is Lovely Faith J. Rapana. Her assigned topic is all about structure for facilitating learner-centered teaching. Next is Jalu M. Villamore. Her assigned topic is all about methods and strategies. Next is Sherlyn L. Jajuli. Her assigned topic is all about flexible learning and teaching. Lastly is Leila A. Ujarin. Her assigned topic is all about differentiated learning. Intended learning outcomes. After studying the module, we are expected to discuss the nature of learner-centered teaching, modalities, structures, methods, and strategies that facilitate differentiated teaching to suit learners' gender, needs, strengths, interests, and experiences. Select appropriate learner-centered teaching modalities, structures, methods, and strategies based on learners' diverse needs, learning styles, and background. Draw an appropriate learner-centered teaching modalities and strategies that address the special educational needs of learners in difficult circumstances. Introduction. Learner-centered pedagogy views learners as active participants in their own learning, with their education shaped by their interest, prior knowledge, and active investigation. In the learner-centered class, the responsibility for learning is placed on the student and is more cooperative rather than solely based on the instruction from the teacher. Abstraction. Letter A. Delivery modalities refers to a learning delivery modality where learners take place between the teacher and the learners, who are geographically remote from each other during instructions. Delivery modality refers the various methods or approaches used to deliver educational content and facilitate learning, which can include face-to-face, in-person, online, blended, and hybrid learning. These modalities can use in different combination and formats to cater to the needs and preferences of learners, teachers, and institutions, and can be adapted based on factors such as available resources, technology, and health safety protocols. The following are the modalities in teaching students. Number 1, face-to-face is an instructional method where course content and learning materials are taught in person to a group of students, and this allows for a live interaction between a learner and instructor. It is the most traditional type of learning instruction, and there is opportunity for active engagement, immediate feedback, and socio-emotional development of the learners. The face-to-face learning, also known as in-person learning, is a traditional education approach where students physically attend classes in a physical classroom setting with their teachers and peers. This modality allows for direct interaction between students and educators, fostering real-time communication, collaboration, and immediate feedback. We have blended learning. Blended learning is an approach to learning that combines face-to-face and online learning experiences. Students learn via electronic and online media as well as the traditional face-to-face teaching. The following are some examples of blended learning. But first, let me explain more about blended learning. So, blended learning is an educational approach that combines traditional face-to-face learning experiences with online learning, creating a hybrid learning environment. This approach allows students to benefit from the best of both worlds, combining the special interaction and direct feedback of in-person learning with the flexibility and convenience of online learning. Blended learning also offers flexibility for learners, allowing them to complete modules at their own pace and around their other responsibilities. So here are some examples of blended learning. We have station rotation blended learning. It is a model that allows students to rotate through stations on a fixed schedule where at least one of the station is an online learning station. This model particularly effective for differentiating instruction and catering to individual learning needs, as it allows teachers to work with small groups of students and customize the delivery of content based on their abilities and interests. The station rotation model also fosters student agency, collaboration, and communication. As students engage in hands-on activities, peer-to-peer learning, and online research and tool. Next, we have remote blended learning or enriched virtual. In this model, the students' focus is on completing online coursework while only meeting with a teacher intermittently or as needed. This approach differs from the flipped classroom. In this model, students primarily study online, engaging in activities like reading, researching, and watching videos, with some synchronous elements. The focus is on learning outcomes, with online activities strategically linked to objectives. Face-to-face sessions are used for specific purposes like lab work or discussions, enhancing the online learning experience. This approach provides a balance between the flexibility of online classes and the benefits of in-person instruction, catering to individual needs and promoting positive morale among learners, faculty, and administrations. Next, we have the flipped classroom blended learning. Is one where students are introduced to content at home and practice working through it in school supported by a teacher or peers. In this way, traditional roles for each space are flipped. In other words, studying at school and learning at home. This model allows structures to guide student learning by answering student questions and applying course concepts, with traditional homework activities becoming a part of the synchronous or face-to-face class period with the instructor's support. This model is a response to the idea that class time should be used to engage students in learning through active learning, and it allows for more class time to be spent on engaging learning activities such as peer instruction and learning interactive teaching techniques. Next, we have mastery-based blended learning. Students rotate between online and face-to-face learning based on the completion of mastery-based learning objectives. Assessment design is crucial in any mastery-based learning experience. Mastery-based blended learning is a type of blended learning that combines the mastery learning approach with online and offline learning experiences. Mastery learning is a systematic instructional method where students progress through a course based on their ability to demonstrate mastery of a concept or skill. before moving on the next level. This approach allows students to develop a deep understanding of concepts and skills, and it can lead to improved student outcomes and engagement. Number 3, technology-based online learning constitute via electronic technology including the internet, intranets, satellite broadcast, audio and video conferencing, bulletin boards, chat rooms, webcasts. These foster greater accessibility to learning by offering anytime and anywhere delivery of information. Online learning, on the other hand, refers to the idea of using online tools for learning. Number 4, we have distance learning. Distance learning is synonymous with online learning. It is a method of study where teachers and students do not meet in a classroom, but learning materials are sent through the internet, emails, mails, and others to have classes. And that's all.
Good day, Coach Jude. I am Lovely Faith J. Rapana, the second presenter of Study Hub number 2. Before I will discuss my assigned topic, let's have a short recap. The first presenter discussed about the delivery modalities. The following are the number 1, face-to-face. Number 2, blended learning. Under that, we have station. A, rotation blended learning. B, remote blended learning or enriched virtual. C, flipped classroom blended learning. And next letter D, mastery-based blended learning. And also we have number 3, technology-based online learning. And she discussed distance learning. That's all. So now let's proceed to my assigned topic, which is letter B, structures for facilitating learner-centered teaching. Structures for facilitating learner-centered teaching, it is a potent tool to help reservists and practicing teachers understand the fundamental pedagogical principles, processes, and practices that are enshrined on learner-centeredness and other educational psychologies as they apply to facilitate the delivery of teaching and learning in the current education milieu. So now let's proceed to number 1, formal traditional structure. Teacher as the controller of the learning environment. Teacher plays role of instructor and decision maker. Teacher direct approach with students sitting and listening. In this structure, the teacher takes control of the learning environment, acting as the instructor and decision maker. Students are taught through lecture and expected to sit and listen attentively. Number 2, alternative learning system, flexible program for working and disadvantaged adults. Learning can take place anytime, anywhere, different from traditional classroom-based method. In number 2, we have letter A, non-formal education, education outside the formal school system. Lifelong learning concept, acquire skills to adapt to a changing environment. Letter B, informal education, learning from experience and observation. No formal structure and levels like formal schools. And lastly, letter C, the mobile teachers, specialized teachers who go to remote areas, conduct basic literacy program for illiterate out-of-school youth and adults. So, alternative learning system offers a flexible approach to education, allowing students to learn anytime and anywhere according to their needs. It provides an opportunity for working adults and disadvantaged individuals to complete their primary and secondary education. Number 3, alternative delivery modes. Non-traditional education program recognized by the Department of Education. Flexible learning, philosophy, and circular delivery program. Includes non-formal and informal source of knowledge and skills. Alternative delivery modes, or ADM, refers to non-traditional education programs recognized by the Department of Education. These programs offer flexible learning approaches and incorporate non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. In number 3, we have letter A, modified in-school off-school approach, addresses congestion and overcrowding in classroom. In school group and off-school group, learning interchangeably. So modified in-school off-school approach, or MIMOSA, tackles issues such as overcrowded classrooms by dividing students into in-school and off-school groups. They alternate between traditional classroom learning and independent activities. Next is letter B, enhance instructional management by parents, community, and teachers. Technology enhanced alternative delivery mode of learning. Peer-led approach for students to learn and interact. Active engagement of parents and community in the learning process. So, enhance instructional management by parents, community, and teachers. Utilize technology to enhance learning with a focus on peer-led interactions. It encourages active involvement of parents, community members, and teachers in supporting students' educational journey. And lastly, letter C, Open High School Program, alternative mode of formal secondary education. Distance learning mode for students unable to attend regular classes. Provides printed self-learning modules for students. So, Open High School program offers a distance learning options for students who cannot attend regular classes due to various reasons. It provides self-learning modules and resources for students to complete their secondary education. Once again, I am Lovely Faith J. Rapana, the second presenter of the Study Hub number 2.
Good day, Coach Jude. I am Joel Villamor, the third presenter in the Study Hub. Before I discuss my topic, let's have a short recap about the discussion of Miss Lovely Faith Rapana, which is the structure for facilitating learner-centered teaching is a ponent tool to help pre-service and practicing teachers understand the fundamental pedagogical principle, processes, and practice that are anchored on learner-centeredness and other educational psychologies as they apply to facilitate the delivery of teaching and the learning in the current educational menu. There are three structures that can be used in learner-centered teaching, which is the formal. So formal is a concern with the teacher being the controller of the learner environment. Next is the alternative learning system. ALS is a practical option to the existing formal instruction so that students can complete basic education in a mode that fits their distinct situation and needs. The last one is alternative delivery modes. ADM refers to the non-traditional educational program recognized by the Department of Education, DepEd, which applies a flexible learning philosophy and a curricular delivery program that includes non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skills. And now I'm going to discuss my topic, which is the methods and strategies. There are several time-tested methods and strategies that learner-centered teachers can utilize in the classroom. Teacher can employ a variety of methods or strategies appropriate to the learning styles of students and carry out the objectives of the lesson to be taught. Number 1, methods. A. Active learning activity is a learning activity in which the student participates or interacts with the learning process, as opposed to passively taking the information. When given the opportunity to actively engage with the information they are learning, students perform better. So active learning activities involve students actively participating or engaging with the learning process instead of just passive receiving information. Research shown that when students have the opportunity to actively engage with the information they are learning, they tend to perform better academically. B. Cooperative learning activities is a generic term for various small group interactive instructional procedures. Students work together on academic tasks in small groups to help themselves and their teammates learn together. Examples of cooperative learning activities are pair or group discussion, role play, zigzag, think pair share, white pair share, and fishbowl debate. So, cooperative learning activities involves students working together in small groups to achieve a common academic goals. These activities encourage collaboration, communication, and teamwork among students, leading to a shared learning experience. C. Inquiry and inductive learning activities. Inductive learning is a powerful strategy for helping students deepen their understanding of content and develop their influence and evidence gathering skills. Examples of inquiry activities are case studies, group projects, research projects, fieldwork, especially in science lessons, unique exercise tailored for the students. So, inductive learning activities are designed to help students deepen their understandings by content by following or allowing them to explore and discover patterns, relationships, and connections on their own. This approach empowers students to develop critical thinking skills, evidence gathering abilities, and a deeper sense of influence over their own learning process. Number 2, learner-centered instructional strategies. 1. Cooperative learning is a successful teaching strategy in which small teams, each with students of different levels of abilities, use a variety of learning activities to improve their understanding of a subject. Each member of a team is responsible for learning what is taught but also for helping teammates learn, thus creating an atmosphere of achievement. Certainly, cooperative learning is a highly effective instructional strategy where students work in small teams, each consisting of individuals with variety levels of abilities. These teams engage in a large of learning activities that are designed to enhance their comprehension of a specific subject or topic. 2. Presentations. The instructional strategy of using student presentation as a way to present content to the class as a whole can be fun and engaging method. For example, the teacher hands out topic to students or group and have them present information on each topic as a short presentation. So, student presentation create a collaborative and interactive learning environment where students become active participants in their learning process. They not only learn from their own research and presentation, but also from the presentation of their classmates, fostering a sense of shared knowledge and understanding within the classroom. 3. Panel. In a panel discussion, a selected group of students act as a panel, and the remaining class member act as the audience. A panel leader is chosen and she summarizes the panel discussion and open discussion to the audience. So, panel discussion create a dynamic and inclusive learning environment where students can deepen their understanding of complex issues, learn from their peers, and develop important communication and critical thinking skills through active participation and dialogue. 4. KWL or KWHLAQ is an instructional reading strategy that is used to guide students through a text. Students begin by brainstorming everything they know about a topic. This information is recorded in the K column of a KWL chart. KWL chart are graphic organizer that help students organize information before, during, and after a unit or a lesson. So KWL or Know, Want to Know, and Learn is a learner-centered instructional strategies that help students engage with the material, establish learning goals, and reflect on their understanding. The KWL strategy is often expanded to KWHLAQ, which includes additional steps for deeper engagements and reflection. 5. Brainstorming is a large or small group activity that encourages students to focus on a topic and contribute to the free flow of ideas. The teacher may begin a brainstorming session by posting a question or a problem, or by introducing a topic. Students then express possible answers and relevant ideas. Contributions are accepted without criticism or judgment and usually summarized on a whiteboard by the teacher or a script as the idea are called out. These ideas are then examined, usually in the open class discussion format. So brainstorming is a variable instructional strategies in education that promotes active learning and student engagement. One of the key benefits of brainstorming is its ability to foster creativity among students. By encouraging students to think outside the box and explore innovation solutions to problems, brainstorming helps stimulate their imagination and develop original ideas. 6. Learner-centered media involves a high degree of engagement, promotes individual learning, social interaction, and immersion, and is highly customizable and collaborative. It provides an alternative or a complement to traditional undergraduate students' research. In learner-centered instructional strategies that incorporate learner-centered media, students are actively involved in a process of designing, producing, and sharing their work with peers and the broader community. This hands-on approach not only enhances students' digital literacy skills but also fosters their creativity, critical thinking, and communication skills. Through the creation of media projects, students have the opportunity to explore topics in depth, engage in self-direct learning, and present their idea in the variety of formats that resonate with their peers. 7. Discussion is a variety of forums for open-ended, collaborative exchange of ideas among teachers and students, or among students for the purpose of furthering students' thinking, learning, problem-solving, understanding, and literary appreciation. The following are advantages of discussion. 1. In a discussion class, the students are actively involved in processing information and ideas. 2. Since students' initiated questions are more common in discussion classes, their needs and interests are dealt with more readily and spontaneously than in other methods. 3. Because students play a more active role in discussion, student diversity of backgrounds can be exploited in the generation of ideas, approaches, and examples. 4. Students receive practice in formulating questions and communicating their ideas. 5. Discussion can be used to examine students' attitudes. Disadvantages. 1. The discussion method is the less effective method for conveying punctual information. 2. Discussion can be very time-consuming and unfocused unless the instructor makes an effort to direct the flow. 3. because an instructor is often had difficulty in getting time students involved at first. The temptations to split into a review session or mini lecture is great. 4. Class size must be restricted. These discussions often take place in classroom settings where students are encouraged to actively participate, share their perspectives, and engage in critical dialogue. By providing opportunities for students to voice their opinions, ask questions, and challenge each other's viewpoints, discussion fosters a deeper understanding of the material and encourage the development of critical thinking skills. 8. Small group. Allow presenter to announce a topic or idea for group discussion among participants. A small group discussion follows democratic guidelines and allow everyone to contribute many ideas for others to discuss and reflect upon. Discussion allows for an interchange of ideas within the context of a group under the directions of a presenter. This method is generally used as part of the larger course rather than as the only teaching method. Small group strategy and learner-centered instructions involve organizing students into smaller, more intimate groups to facilitate collaborative learning experience. Within these small groups, students are encouraged to actively engage with course content, share their perspective, and work together to solve problems or complete tasks. This strategy often include activities such as discussions, debates, problem-solving tasks, and collaborative projects. 9. Case studies often involve simply observing what happened to or reconstructing the case history of a single participant group of individuals. In this method, a situation is drawn from real life and is followed by step-by-step to illustrate a general principle or problem-solving strategy. Case studies are more useful when students are learning a process of information, analyze, and asking questions. So, case studies strategy are a learner-centered instructional approach that involves presenting students with real-world scenarios or situations for analysis, discussion, and problem-solving. These case studies are typically drawn from various fields such as business, medicine, education, or social science, and are designed to reflect authentic challenges or dilemmas that professionals encounter in their respective fields. 10. Digsaw is a method of organizing classroom activity that makes students dependent on each other to succeed. It breaks classes into groups and breaks assignments to complete the Digsaw puzzle. It is a cooperative learning strategy that enables each student of a home group to specialize one aspect of a topic. For example, one group studies habitats of rainforest animals, another group studies predators of rainforest animals. The Digsaw strategy promotes cooperative learning, communication skills, and a sense of interdependence among students, as they must work together to complete the larger puzzles of knowledge by actively engaging students in both teaching and learning rules. The Digsaw strategy encourages participation, fosters empathy, and creates a supportive and inclusive learning environment. 11. Learning centers is an exploratory and interactive learning strategy where students rotate in groups to different activities that reinforce and extend classroom learning. As students rotate to designed areas around the classroom, they demonstrate their understanding of a topic and practice skills through tasks that integrate various learning styles. Learning Center foster collaboration and peer learning. A student may work together at certain center or share their discovery with their classmates by providing a rich and interactive learning environment. Learning centers empower students to take ownership of their learning, develop critical thinking skills, and explore topics in depth. 12. Experiment is a procedure carried out to support, reflect, and validate a hypothesis. Experiments provide insight into cause and effect by demonstrating the outcomes occurs when a particular factor is manipulated. Experiments vary greatly in goal and scale, but always rely on repeatable procedure and logical analysis of the result. Experiment serves as a cornerstone of learner-centered instruction, empowering students to actively engage with the material, make meaningful connections, and develop essential skills for academic and professional success. Role play is a dynamic learner-centered instructional that immerses students in stimulate real-life situations, allowing them to take on different roles and perspectives. Through role play, students step into the shoes of character, professionals, or historical figures, and engage in scripted or improvised interactions that mirror authentic scenarios. 14. Simulation are instructional scenario where the learner is placed in a world defined by the teacher. They represent a reality within which students interact. The teacher controls the parameters of this world and uses it to achieve the desired instructional result. Students experience the reality of the scenario and gathered meaning for it. So simulations are immersive learner-centered instructional strategy that replicate real-world scenario or environments, allowing students to actively engage in experimental learning. This simulation can range for virtual simulation on computers to physical simulation in MOOC scenario. By placing students in simulated situation, simulation provides opportunity for students to apply theoretical knowledge, practice skills, and make decisions in a controlled and realistic settings. 16. Workshop is a teaching structure that pushes students to be creative and responsible in their own learning. The workshop model asks students to take charge of their own learning, becoming active and engaged in their work and development of understanding. Workshop can be tailored to accommodate diverse learning styles and references, ensuring that all participants can actively participate and benefit from the learning experience, whether focused on professional development, academic skills, or personal growth. Workshop strategies offers an engaging and interactive approach to learning that promotes active engagement, skills development, and knowledge retention. 17. Demonstration is a teaching method used to communicate an idea with the aid of visuals, such as flip chart, posters, PowerPoint, etc. It is also a process of teaching someone how to make or do something in a step-by-step process. Demonstration strategy are learner-centered instructional approach that involve presenting information or skill through live or record demonstration. In a demonstration, instructors showcase how to perform a task, execute a procedure, or apply a concept, providing a visual and often interactive example for learners to observe and learn from. 18. Inquiry-based strategy is an approach to learning that emphasizes the student role in a learning process. Rather than the teacher telling students what they need to know, students are encouraged to explore the material, ask questions, and share ideas. From a student point of view, inquiry-based learning focuses on investigating an open question or problem. Benefits of inquiry-based learning: 1. Reinforces curriculum content. 2. Warm up the brain for learning. 3. Promotes a deeper understanding of content. 4. Help make learning regarding. 5. Build initiative and self-direction. Inquiry-based strategy are learner-centered instructional approach that foster curiosity, critical thinking, and active exploration among students. In inquiry-based learning, students are encouraged to ask questions, investigate problems, and seek solutions through independent explorations and discovery. The next presenter, Ms. Julie Charlene, will continue the discussion, which is the number 19, Mental Models, under the Learner-Centered Instructional Strategy. Thank you and God bless.
Good day, Coach Jude. I am Charlene Julie, the fourth presenter of Study Hub number 2. Before we start, let us have a short recap in the previous topic of Ms. Jalu, which is the methods and strategies. There are several time-tested methods and strategies that learning-centered teachers can utilize in the classroom, which is the methods. So, the first one is active learning activities, followed by the cooperative learning activities. The third one is inquiry and inductive learning activities. So, the number 2 is learning-centered instructional strategies. These are the learner-centered instructional strategies that follow. So, the first one is cooperative learning. Number 2, presentation. Number 3, panels. Number 4, KWL. Number 5, brainstorming. Number 6, learning created media. Number 7, discussion. Number 8, small group. Number 9, case studies. So number 10 is jigsaw. Learning centers, experiments, role play, stimulations, laboratory strategies, workshop, demonstration, and inquiry-based strategy. And I will be the one who will continue the number 19, which is the part of Miss Jalu, but I will continue it. So number 19 is mental models. So mental models are any organized pattern consisting of both structure and process that help a student comprehend content, knowledge, and or solve problems related to the principles being taught. So, advanced organizers are often taught as a mental models. Mental models help you understand life. So, for example, supply and demand is a mental model that helps you understand how the economy works. So the number 13 is project-based learning is a teaching method in which students gain knowledge and skills by working for an extended period of time to investigate, of course, and respond to an authentic, engaging and complex question and problem or challenge. So, a dynamic classroom approach is which students actively explore real-world problems and challenges and acquire a deeper knowledge. So number 21 is problem-based learning. So problem-based learning is a teaching method in which complex real-world problems are used as the vehicle to promote student learning concepts and principles, as opposed to direct presentation of facts and concepts. So, it can promote the development of critical thinking skills. So, the problem-solving abilities and communication skills. It can also provide opportunities for working in groups, finding the evaluating research materials, and lifelong learning. That's at L 2001. So number 22 is discovery learning, was introduced by Jerome Brunner and is a method of inquiry-based instruction. This popular theory encourages learners to build on past experience and knowledge, use their intuition, imagination, and creativity, and search for new information to discover facts, correlations, and new truths. It is used in the classroom during problem-solving exercise and educational program. So we have 4 disadvantages. So the first one is it encourages motivation active involvement, and creativity. The second one is it can be adjusted to the learner's pace. So the third one is it promotes autonomy and independence. And the last one is it ensures have a higher level of retention. So the 23 is social media. So social media are tools that allow for social interaction and easy creation of content by user. It can be an effective tool for teaching and learning in higher education. So social media, of course, this apply when in online classes, like so example, classroom during problem solving exercise and educational program. So we have four disadvantage. So the first one is it encourage motivation, active involvement, and creativity. The second one is it can be adjusted to the learner's pace. So the third one is it promotes autonomy and independence. And the last one is it ensures have a higher level of retention. So the 23 is social media. So social media are tools that allow for social interaction and easy creation of content by user. It can be an effective tool for teaching and learning in higher education. So social media, of course, this apply when in online classes, like so example, it can help connect students to information and help them generate a dialogue with their teacher and other students about a course. It can also help students and faculty build professional networks that connect them to communities. So the 24 is games of gamification. So games of gamification is turning the learning process as a whole into a game. While games-based learning BGL is using a game as a part of the learning process. It turns the entire learning process into a game. So it takes game mechanics and gameplay elements and applies them to existing learning courses and content in order to better motivate and engage learners. So example of this is mechanics include achievement badge, points, leader, boards, progress bars, level, or quests. So the 25 is competitions are great tools in preparing students for their career preference later in life. These methods can teach a child certain attributes and traits that can help him or her later in life. Competition in any form brings out the best in people and pushes them to excel. Competition in the classroom is quite healthy. It should, in fact, be encouraged. It allows students to extend themselves, to exploit their real capabilities and maximize their true potential. It is most productive when occurs among students of similar abilities. So the 26 is debate. So debate, it involves students in expressing their own opinions or different opinions from two competing, so respective with the goal of contradicting each other's argument. So an opportunity for decision may be given after opposing views are presented in alternating statement. Engaging students in discussion and debate encourage students to create their own understanding of the content and connect it to their real experience or their experiences. So, let us proceed to the next topic. So, letter D, flexible learning and teaching. So, flexible learning is a method of learning where students are given freedom in how, what, when, and where they learn. Flexible learning environment addresses how physical space is used, how students are grouped during learning, and how time is used throughout teaching. So, example of flexible learning are face-to-face, of course, face-to-face contact, website with interactive content, and or chat rooms, discussion boards. So teleconferencing or video conferencing, like online classes, like something like that, or face to face. And praise the source are field trips and audio tapes. So the flexible teaching accommodates curiosity, allow lesson to have a much looser structure. Let us discuss and thoughts play out and follow them to see where they go. In traditional course, some activities are psychorunus, like listening to lectures or participating in discussions, labs, and small group work. Other activities might be asynchronous, like readings and homework assignments. So, that's my own report, and thank you.
Good day, Coach Jude. I'm Leila Ojarin, the last presenter of the Study Hub number 2. Before I start my discussion, let's have a short overall recap of all the previous presenter about the presenter discussion about the delivery modalities. The following are the number 1, face-to-face. 2, blended learning. Under that, we have station A, rotation blended learning. B, remote blended learning or in enriched virtual. C, flipped classroom blended learning. Next, the letter D, mastery-based blended learning. Also, we have the number 3, technology-based online learning. And lastly, she discussed the distant learning, and that's all. Structures for facilitating learner-centered teaching. It is a potent tools to help pre-service and practicing teacher understand the fundamental pedagogical principles, process and practice that are anchored on learner-centeredness and the other education psychologies as they apply the facilitate the delivery of teaching and learning in the current education millennium. 1, formal traditional. It's concerned with the learning being the control of the learning environment. 2, alternative learning system is a practical option to the existing formal instruction so that the student can complete basics education in a mode that fit their situation and needs. Number 3, alternative delivery modes refer to the non-traditional education program recognized by the Department of the Education, which is apply a flexible learning philosophies and a curricula delivery program that includes non-formal and informal sources of knowledge and skill. Next, letter C, method and strategies. There are several time tested method and strategies that learning-centered teachers and utilize in the classroom, which is the method A, active learning activities. B, cooperative learning activities. C, inquiry and inductive learning activities. Number 2, learner-centered instructional strategies. 1, cooperative learning. 2, presentation. 3, funnel. 4, KWL or KWH LAQ. 5, brainstorming. 6, learning creative media. 7, discussions. 8, small group. 9, case studies. 10, jigsaw. 11, learning center. 12, experiment. 13, role play. 14, simulation. 15, laboratory strategies. 16, workshop. 17, demonstration. 18, inquiry-based strategies. Letter E, differentiated learning, is a framework or philosophy that involve providing all students within their device classroom community of learners a range of different avenues for understanding new information in terms of acquiring content, processing, constructing, or marketing sense of idea, and developing teacher materials and assessment measures so that all students within a classroom can learn effectively regardless of differences in their ability. It allows students to show what they know in the different way what those it means. Number 1. Design lesson based on student learning styles. Number 2. Group student by shared interest, topic, or ability for assignment. Number 3. Number 3. Assess student learning using a formative assessment. Number 4. Manage the classroom to create a safe and supportive environment. Differentiating instruction may mean teaching the same materials to all students using a variety of instructional strategies. It may require the teacher to deliver lessons at varying level of difficulty based on the ability of each student. According to the Tomlinson, teacher can differentiate instruction through 4 ways. Number 1, content. Number 2, process. 3, product. 4, learning environment. Differentiated instruction. Create learning station. Provide different type of content by setting up learning stations. Divide section of your classroom throughout which group of students rotate. You can facilitate this with a flexible seating plan. Each station should use a unique method of teaching a skill or concept related to your lessons. For example, student can rotate between stations that involve watching a video, creating artwork, reading an article, completing puzzles, and listen to your teachers. Target differences within lesson. A lesson should resonate with more students if its target visual, tactical, auditory, and kinetic sense, instead of the only one like playing video, using infographics, providing audiobooks, getting students to act out of sense, incorporating chart and illustration within text, giving both spoken and written direction to tasks, using relevant physical objects such as money, they teaching math skill, and allotting time student to create artistic reflections and interpretation of lesson. Use the think, pair, share strategies required student to think individually about a topic or answer to a question and share idea with classmates. Make time for journaling. A journal can be a tool for students to reflect on the lesson you have taught and activities you have run, helping them process new information. Letter F. Education in emergencies. It is a critical life-saving response that works to protect children to conflicts and natural disaster and preserve their right to education. It is education that protects the well-being, foster learning opportunities, and nurture the overall development of people affected by conflicts and disaster. 1. Foundational standard. This domain details standard for community participation and resources, coordination, and analysis, assessment, response, strategies, monitoring, evaluation. The standards described here are critical for an effective education response. They are the basics for the application of the standard for assess and learning environment, teaching and learning, the teacher, other education, personnel, and education policy. Number 2, the teaching learning domain. This standard focus on the critical elements that promote effective teaching and learning, including curricula, training, professional development and support, instruction and learning processes, and assessment of the learning outcome. A. Curricula, culturally, socially, and linguistically relevant curricula are used to provide formal and non-formal education appropriate to the particular context and needs of learner. Letter B. Training, process, development, and support. Teacher and other education personnel receive periodic, relevant, and structured training according to needs and circumstance. C. Instruction and learning processes. Instruction and learning processes are learn-centered, participatory, and inclusive. D. Assessment and learning outcome. Appropriate methods are used to evaluate learning outcome.